Hello guys, how are you today? Back here in Delft Haven. Now I had meant to widen this river before my next recording, but it didn't happen and I have things I need to do, so here we are. We'll get to this. There's something over here that needs harvesting. We will go find that. Man, look at the diamonds again. So yesterday I put another couple of levels on the warehouse. I don't really know how many because I don't remember where we were, but let's go over and have a look at where that is. But I was way down under 1,000,000 diamonds again. And yeah. Thank you, Kay. Your help is appreciated. Twisty maze, all the in and out, all through the night. I wonder when this man sleeps. Panda Mama, thank you for your help. Sheem, thank you so much. Dodge this. Hello again, sweetie. And then back to more twisty maze. Man, you have a good friend when. Really, this is amazing. So what do we have? We need milk and we have enough milk. So do it. And we're going to need peanuts next time, 28. We've got enough for that too. And look how fast the cash is going away. Now, I put in a little extra milk production over here. It seemed kind of an important thing to do. So I may end up putting another, quite frankly. We tend to go through a lot of milk for a long time. There will come a point in the future where it's not as required, but for now, it's kind of a big deal. Which one is this required? Here we go. I'm not really liking this. I mean, I'm not really keen on this method. I don't like the way it looks particularly, and it doesn't work out all that well for having the farm hands be very productive. I don't know. It just means I've got to do a lot more harvesting than I'm used to. What am I saying? I'm saying I'm a lazy sod, okay? What can I tell you? Yeah. It just is. On the other hand, I'm not real excited and keen to go through all the work of changing it either. Did I mention I'm a lazy sod? See, that's a rock and hard place right there. You can do a lot more work now, or you can just do a little bit more work in the future. And 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, that sort of situation, right? Oh my goodness. I got to come up with something now. I mean, this setup works great. They take care of all of it, and you just never ever have to worry about it. And when I had them all along the bottom on in Air Dutch on that farm, it works, and if there's a quest, I can just pick a guy up and move him over here because there aren't enough farmhands to do all of it. Although there might, I'm wondering, because I had farmhands in various places on the other farm that I'm not going to be using in this one. I wonder if there are enough farmhands to do all of that. You know what? I need to go over and check. I need to go over and have a look at that actually and see how that might work. Because, I wonder. Got me thinking here now, folks. That's always dangerous. Oh no, she's thinking again. What are we going to do now? Where's this? Where am I? Oh, I'm up here. So I've actually got both of these colors, it looks like, that are required, because that's a longer line than, isn't it, than just this wee patch of blue. Yeah, we get the white ones too. Okay, good. I kept thinking I was looking for one long thing of flowers, and it's like, I'm not really seeing anything that's fitting. And that's because we had more going on than I realized. Good job. Oh, I just missing the summer. I just realized the season here when I got into game. A rainy summer day. Oh, I do love those. I like it when it's just pouring and I can go like sit on a porch or a patio that's covered, or I've even done things that just open the garage door and sat a chair inside the garage and just sit there and let it rain. I even like walking in the rain, as long as I'm not going anywhere. If you're going to work, walking in the rain kind of is not fun, because you get there looking like, you know, like something the cat dragged in, right? And slobbered all over. Yeah. So that's no good. But if you're just walking for the sake of walking, and you get home and you can just rip the wet clothes off in a puddle at the door and rush to the shower, or get a hot bubbly bath or something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like it. A whole bunch. So, I mean, I could replant things, blah, blah, blah. What I need to do is check for quest, right? What do we need? What do we have for questing these days? Do we have stuff? Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. All right, what do we need? Oh, we got a whole bunch we need to. Ooh, no kidding. So we need 200 jalapeno peppers. We need 420 of them. Wow. Okay, well, let's just start with that, shall we? Because that's a whole bunch of peppers, guys. It's very peppery. I made homemade soup last night. My daughter is really ill. She's not been feeling well for about 3 weeks, but man, in the last several days, it has just escalated. Like she's, I don't know what's, we don't know what's wrong. We've had a COVID test, but I mean, sometimes they don't, you know, false positives or false negatives happen more than a false. If it's positive, it's usually accurate, but false negatives do happen. And you know, we just had the Thanksgiving thing here in Canada, so of course cases have been spiking ever since. You know, that's what it does, right? You get a holiday and everybody gets stupid. And she was out of town that weekend, but it was only with a very few people who are all vaccinated and all careful, and none of those people have gotten ill. And she did get a COVID test after, although I mean, she wasn't feeling well going into it, so there's a thing. So it might not be, you know, we tend to forget that people used to get things other than COVID. Remember the good old days where people got things other than COVID? It's amazing, right? But she's just gotten worse and worse. And then last night I made a big pot of soup, and it was actually really good. And instead of using like a vegetable broth, she's a vegetarian, so I don't use beef or chicken broth or anything, but I used a mushroom broth. And oh my goodness, does that ever make a nice vegetable soup? I've never actually tried it before, but I loved it. And the peppers are making me think. I put a fair bit of cayenne in it. She's been complaining of being really, really cold, and I thought, you know, let's heat up from the inside a little bit, can't hurt. But cayenne, if it's not like if it's not too spicy, and this one doesn't actually taste spicy, there's just a hint of heat, and it makes the flavors, it just enhances the flavors so nice. So it turned out to be a really good soup. I loved it, and it's a good thing because there's a big old lot of it. There's a lot of soup in the fridge. Oh my goodness. If anybody needs soup, send me your address and I'll send you a quart or two, okay? Oh my goodness. So much soup. But it's really good. It's quite rich. There's a couple of kinds of beans, a few barley, not many. Lots of, you know, carrots, onions, celery, that sort of thing is always good. Excuse me. And no, I'm not at all sure. What have I said so far? The mushroom broth, of course. A little bit of soy sauce, canned tomatoes, quite a lot of those, big can of tomatoes. I don't know what I've already told you, but it was good food. We had broccoli, broccoli, 2 beans, tomatoes, carrots, celery, onions, the mushroom broth, cayenne, soy sauce, pepper, salt. That's about it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, some kind of vegetable. There was another vegetable in there. I don't know what it was, but it turned out to be a very good. It was very nice. I was happy with it. was just going to make sort of my traditional vegetable soup thing, you know, with a clear broth, nothing creamy or congestion making, you know, kind of thing. But I didn't actually have the ingredients that I wanted for it. So I just went, you know, let's go something totally different. And I like it way better than my regular soup. So that turned out good, right? It's like, woohoo, I win. This is good. I like it better. It's quite nice. I was looking to post something. I post something in Instagram this morning, and I realized that over the course of the summer, about the only pictures I've taken are various trails I've been walking with my dog, or and the dog, and then food. That's all I've got photos of. Trails, dog, food. And not dog food, but, you know, like homemade breads and buns and all these things we probably shouldn't be eating. Are there, oh, we've got some stuff here. You know what? Watch me have gone and planted. Oh, no, here we go. All right, let's get these up. All right, let's do this the fast way and the way that conserves fuel. We have to take care of our environment, and learning to do that in a game is not a bad thing. Taking care of the environment matters. And I don't know, there's so many scientists these days saying that, you know, our ship has sailed, that it's too late. If we can't change everything this year, you know, saying by 2050 we're gonna, is not good enough anymore. And if you are a parent out there, or worse yet, a grandparent, and I would be so freaked out for future generations to come. I'm telling you, I really would. I'm actually very, very glad that I don't have grandchildren. It would just give me something else to worry about. And that's no good. Nobody needs that. We have enough to worry about these days. No more worry. Thank you very much. Okay, so the sugar cane is done. We're waiting on tuna. Tuna. I gotta do my bees here, and we'll see what else we need to be planting this season, and then we will widen the river. So what else do we need? These aren't done yet. These aren't put anywhere else, right? What is that? What is that up here? Yep. Poppies. Oh, we need a whack of poppy. That's a lot of poppies, guys. Parasol mushrooms. Need a fair number of them, too. That's a lot of poppies. Dang. Well, I think this might be a good time to plant at least a few more. Holy cow, that's going to take a while. How long do these take? 2 hours. Well, we'll be doing that one for a few days. Well, unless Twisty Maze is in all night doing them tomorrow night. Or tonight, I mean. Wow. Okay, we'll go back and do what? So, we've done those and those. Now we still have to... Did we not harvest all of those? What do we have here? Let's see. I thought I was done with those. Oh, down at the end. That's what it was. There was just a few, right? That one little block down at the end. That, I thought, man, I thought I'd done those things. And it kind of did. All right, what else? Eggplants. I need 200 of those. Well, that's just about 2 rows, so yay. Dum-dum-dum. So I was playing that Settlement Survivor after recording yesterday. I thought, you know, I'll just get a little bit further ahead with it. But, man, you know what? I shouldn't have bought. I messed up. I forgot. I was counting on some nomads to come, and I forgot to build the actual town hall. I had the boarding house, and, you know, I was in and out. I'd had to go to an appointment. I was back in. I played a little of the game. I left it running. I took off again. I came back, and I messed up. I mean, it was just, I forgot to put the town hall up, and I was really counting on the nomads to show up because I needed them for farming, and I built too fast which is a thing I do. It is a problem for me. I know this. If you've ever watched me doing these sorts of games, I tend to, you know what, I'll be honest, when I'm recording for you guys, I tend to go a lot slower and, just take things and let it build slowly and work up to it, make sure everything is nice and safe for my people and it's easy to follow and blah da 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 da. When I'm just sort of playing on my own, I get a little snap happy on occasion and it's like, oops. And I had everybody, like every person I had was working at something. But what it meant is I didn't have enough people in some of the industries, and I certainly didn't in the food department. So I was needing somebody to work the farms, and I was really counting on the nomads to show up and do that. Whoops, I'm not paying attention again. And I forgot to put the town hall in. And I really, 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 oh man, the game just took a dive. It wasn't pretty. It was not nice. And it's still recovering. It's not, we're not there yet by any means, that's for sure. So how soon for these? Oh, it's pretty soon. And these, pretty soon. And these, I think I just did these yesterday. Okay. Alrighty, what can I plant here? Don't need either one of those anymore, do I? Yes, I should be replowing, but it's my own farm and I can be rude if I want to. I'm being rude to me, so it doesn't count. It's a thing. I'll regret it later when it's time to plant, but my problem. What can I say? The eggplant is not going to quite be done, but close. The blue hydrangeas we got to wait on. Okay. Well, we got a little bit. Got a little bit of questing done. That's good. Now, what I should do, is replant so they have time to grow. Is even with the mod on, these are a little bit slow, and they will need that one extra clump, right? I will. So yeah, I want to widen the river, or maybe just widen it at one point so there's a bit of a pool. Maybe, a little swimming hole. I have seen, I don't know how they're made or why, but I have seen, looking at maps of the Netherlands and stuff like that, looking at the canal systems, you see this sort of pond at one side. And I've seen it often enough to think that it's on purpose. It's a thing. I just don't know what that thing is. But I thought, oh, that's a cool idea, right? It gives me a fishing hole sort of thing, and that's kind of fun. That sounds good. A wee bit of a lake, or I just widen the river. One of those. We'll see how it feels when I start plopping water down, I guess. Oh, I found a new trail last night too. Like it was getting on toward dark, sunset. It was quite pretty. I had a good time. Bella was thrilled. She said, oh my gosh, we got a new place to go. That is so fun. It's quite lovely. It's not far from, well, not far. I still got to drive to get there because, yeah, whatever. It's the reality of where I live. But it was sort of not the continuation of a trail I've used recently, but not far from it. Let's put it that way. It was pretty nice. It was pretty freaking nice. I enjoyed it. And then it was, getting on toward dark, and it's like, okay, how far out do I want to go alone? And it was so funny. Somebody had posted up a sign that said bear crossing. It was great. I thought it was funny. Not that I was concerned about bears at all. It's the two-legged bears that tend to worry me. Bears are whatever, but you see bears in movies, and it's always a little frightening. But the reality is, when you've seen as many as you do living where I do, it's become sort of a whatever. It's just another animal in the woods. I've heard of a bear attack once, I think when I was a child, about a few hundred miles from here. But I don't think I've ever really heard of a bear attack, nor wolf attacks. Although the wolves here, they're kind of small. They're kind of small. Although I may have helped breeding bigger ones. I had a pet wolf years ago. A great big, very tall, massive timber wolf that had been brought out from, oh gosh, I can't remember where he was from now. He was quite young. He was a big, big boy. And he was so, Kelty, I called him Kelty. He was a lovely thing, but it was nice. It was a nice critter. And I got ill at one point. I got pneumonia, I think, at that point. And when he had a compound that he lived in most of the time. And when I got ill, somebody else was going in to feed him, and he wouldn't eat. And they didn't tell me this because, oh, I'm so ill, you can't upset her kind of thing. But he didn't want to eat from anyone else, I guess. And he managed to eat his way out of the compound. He just destroyed it. And this place that had been a perfectly good home for him, it was in the woods. It had lots of trees in it. It was just like a little mini forest of his own, and he decided that he wasn't staying, and he took off. And when I got well, then, I was going back out to the barn, and then I was told that he had run off. And I was understandably upset, and I was quite worried about him too, because, can he take care of himself, blah, blah, blah. So I used to keep food out. I'd put food out all the time, and he'd come up and eat it. And he'd come hang around the barn at night if it was just me, and I'd be out in the field working the horses or something in the afternoon, and he'd come out and hang around, and he'd come up and play a little bit. It was quite pleasant. He was very, he stayed friendly and hung around for a long time. But over months of time, like he'd come up and eat every day, but over months of time, he was eating less and less. He'd still come up and visit me, but he wasn't eating the food anymore. So obviously he was hunting on his own. He looked great, and he was a big boy. He was about twice the size of the wolves in this area. And people, started seeing him in different places, hikers or along the highway and stuff like that. And everybody was talking about this massive wolf, and oh my gosh, where did that come from? And it's like, oops. I was on a farm out in the country with nothing but bush around me. My property was mostly bush. We only had the one big field for the horses. It was all woodland around us. So it was pretty wild out there, and he started mating, I guess, with the local pack. He was big enough to have taken over as lead of any pack. And I heard for years, hunters or people who hiked a lot commenting on how big the wolves were getting lately. And it's like, yeah, that's my boy. Come on, darling. That's my boy out there doing all the good things, improving the breed. He was a lovely thing. He was a present, actually, from... I had been traveling, oh gosh, it was somewhere in southern Ontario, and I was coming back up through the Bruce Peninsula, I think it was, and there was some sort of wildlife farm, or a farm that had wildlife. They had licenses to have wild animals, and hurt ones would be brought to them for rehabilitation and things like that. But they had a group of wolves that they had bought from somewhere, that were, I don't know if it was a litter of pups that had been brought in from someplace because the mother had been killed, or I don't know, some kind of story that made it legal to have him, because I don't know if it's legal to just go out and, you know, grab a wolf and bring it home and tame it kind of thing. And he was, I mean, he was used to people, but he was very much a wild animal. He wasn't like, oh, a little puppy dog. He was different. They're not dogs. They're not dogs at all. But he, you know, he was okay. I thought he was so beautiful. Oh gosh, he was so beautiful. Just loved him. But it was nice, you know, I'd see him sometime when I was writing, and he'd come up, like he wasn't afraid of me at all. But he avoided other people, thank goodness. And I know he was around for a long time because I would see his tracks. You get to know, you know, that was his tracks, and he was around for years until when I left that area. He was still out there making lots of puppies. And you started hearing, and I'd never heard it before. That was the cool thing. I started hearing wolves at night. I'd be up at the barn late at night, and you'd hear, you know, the ooh. You'd start hearing them talking out in the wilderness around you, and it was, oh, I loved it. It was amazing. It was so cool. I'm kind of an outdoorsy kind of lady. I like being out, and now I live on computers. Go figure. I still have hope of walking the West Highland Way in Scotland someday. Although, man, am I going to have to get healthier before I do that. Stronger. I'm going to have to start working out a lot harder than I do currently. Let me tell you, I'm going to have to start putting in a couple hours a day on stuff because, yeah. Because I still want to do that. Like this year coming. This is not one someday thing. I think this is going to be a 2022 thing for me. Absolutely. It's decided. See, I just decided, and I will. I have been wanting to do that for years, and it's time. I'm not getting any younger, folks. I got to just do this year. So there will be many photos of that. Probably some little videos. That won't be till summer. It might be fall by then. I don't know. I don't know. I hope to be back in Scotland in a few months. I'm going to stay here for the winter with my mom ill and different family obligations. I was kind of hoping to get back like last month, I'll be honest. Or this month, by September, October, but then things happened, and it just like, you know what? No, I'm just going to stay for the winter. And I mean, I've been here this long, right? My flat's still there. It hasn't burnt down yet. Nobody's stolen my sofa or anything, so we'll stick through the winter and then go. Okay, so we got some stuff done. Ooh, we get to do another one. Please don't be cheese next. Please don't. Oh, good, fruit. We can do fruit. And we have enough to get her done too. As long as it's not cheese. Look at I'm just blowing through the gold nuggets. I can't get them to build back up again because I keep buying cheese with them. Oh, goodness. More cheese, please. How are the nuts doing? Yeah, we'll just do all of these while we're here. Man, I've had a lot of different kinds of animals in my life. There was skunks. There have been snakes. I mean, all the kind of regular domestic things. I have had more birds, parrots, canaries, parakeets, cockatiels, all kinds of pigeons, several wild birds that got brought to me hurt that I ended up keeping, or, you know, couldn't be released back into the wild. Or in one case, a bird I attempted to release back into the wild, and he simply wouldn't leave me. For real. Yeah, my darling little guy. Oh, little Danny boy. Oh my goodness, I loved that bird so much. He became such a good friend. It was little evening grosbeak, and he lived out a long and happy life with me. I kept trying to put him loose, but he wouldn't leave. He says, nope, you're it. You're my bud. We're sticking around. So I kept him. Eventually I gave up and said, I guess you're staying with me, sweetie. a seagull, but there was the skunk. I've looked after a lot of other raccoons, 20-some raccoons, various deer, goodness, beaver. Man, I can't even remember all of them anymore. That's why you got to take a lot of photos, guys. But we had goats, of course, like, you know, like you said, the domestic things, the horses, the goats, the rabbits, the guinea pigs, the hamsters, the gerbils, all kinds of fish and aquariums, and various snakes, lizards, things like that. I've had a lot of that kind of stuff. If you can buy it in a pet store, I've probably had some. If you can't buy it in a pet store, if it's accessible, I may have had that too. It's fun. Anyway, I should probably go and widen that river, and I've been talking long enough, so we just call this episode Animal Tales, I guess, something like that. And I will the call of the wild here, folks. Oh goodness, I hope you're having a good day. It's kind of gray and Mickey out today, but it's not too cold and it's not too warm, and quite frankly, it's perfect for me. So at some point after today's stream, I will be heading out to do some more hiking. I'm going to go find that new trail I found and explore it a little further before it gets dark. And I'm bungling around in the bush in the dark, but it'll be fun. So I hope you are having a good day, and I hope you're enjoying the autumn even half as much as I do. Then you're having a good time. Take care, guys. Thank you for your kindness and your... Have you noticed this game has sort of become like my Dear Diary or my blog or something, more than about the game. We just kind of hang out and chat these days, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.